get set, because it's
time to go with the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. With your host with the most, the man voted most likely to smoke out with a Yeti, Mr. Brian Brown.
Mr. Brian Brown.
Now sit back and relax,
Because it's time to go live across the world.
because it's 420 Somewhere.
Well, boom. How's it going, guys? We're counting down to 420 in style, flying by the seat of our pants. I literally walked into the house, had about 2 minutes to smoke real quick, sit down, press live, and go. Oh, how's everyone doing on this Weed Wednesday? What is today? 11:15. Jesus, man, the time just keeps flying. Just keeps flying. What's up, Harley? How you doing? Ooh, migraine. Ooh, that's no good. Oh man. Hey, what's up, yo cholo? Yeah, so flying by the seat of our pants today, guys. Luckily it's Weed Wednesday. I don't know what we'll get into, but we'll get into something fun and exciting. How's everyone doing? Everyone having a great day out there. Looks like we might catch some rain locally, which would be kind of nice, What's your weather situation looking like out there, guys? Blow up those comments. Let me know. We're counting down to 420. And hey, if you stumbled into this for the first time, welcome, welcome. What this is a podcast, video, whatever you want to call it, show. We count down every day, Monday through Friday, about 4:10ish. We go live and we count down to 420, and then we get into a whole mess of trouble in the meantime. We're talking Movie Mondays, where we review elevated reviews, guys, of your favorite movies. Then we do Paranormal Tuesday, where we talk all sorts of paranormal conspiracies, all the good stuff. And of course, all while on the weed, guys. And then today, Weed Wednesday, that's always a fun one. Self-explanatory. True Crime Thursday, we get a little baked and we jump into some true crime. And then of course, Baked and Unboxed on Friday, guys. That's where we give all the good stuff away. Like this Friday, I know I've been postponing it, guys. Today was supposed to be my last day. Tomorrow should actually be my last day. And then Friday, we're home free. We'll get everything back on track. So we're extending this out till this Friday, guys. It is a Friday the 13th. Ooh, lunchbox. But it packs a lunch. I packed you a lunch. You're going to get a Friday the 13th magnet, another one, Camp Crystal Lake magnet. You're going to get Camp Crystal Lake sockos. You're going to get some Friday the 13th. More socks. You got the room key. You want to meet Jason in person? This is the cabin key, guys. That's right. And I'm going to have some stickers in there and a whole mess of stuff, guys. So what you need to do is hashtag Friday the 13th or Jason. I'll take either, guys. Appreciate your patience while I get my act together. Oh, this job. Oh, man. I had a nervous breakdown today trying to close these stores. I work a seasonal job, for those who don't know. And, man, these last couple of weeks, they just put it to you. Very demanding. And I'm just happy that it's almost over, guys. It's going to be starting on Monday, guys, November to Dismember. And what Cheech and Chong's selling a bottle of vodka that makes you into a ball of what? We got to review that. Tell me where I can buy one. I'll go buy one ASAP. We'll throw that on the channel. Hell yeah. Get a little, I haven't been drunk in a long time. I don't know. Man, it might make for some interesting stuff. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, tax season. Oh man, that's jumping right into it too. Tax season is starting. Oh man. All right, guys, what do we got? We got about 3 minutes before 420. Let's get into something here. Let's see what some weird list is. Let's do top 5. All right. Thank God for I guess autocorrect or whatever you want to call it for like Google when you misspell stuff and it just knows what you're talking about. Thank God for that, man. I think it made us a little lazy, but It is what it is. You know what? There's a good one. We're gonna do top 5 out of control turf wars. I don't know what that means. We're gonna figure it out though. I hate ads. Here we go. South Africans' taxi turf wars have claimed hundreds of lives. Cab drivers have a less stellar reputation pretty much everywhere on earth, even though it's probably just a minor yelling or road rage type of situation. But in South Africa, like anywhere, cab companies have um, a finite customer base. They want to hold those customers and their money as tight as they can. But if another cab company shows up, all those customers will lose, and their money might be seduced away. Um, this is how turf wars start. So in 2018, a minibus full of cab drivers was returning from a funeral of a colleague when a gunman opened fire, killing 11 passengers. By July 2021, 83 people have been killed in Cape Town, including passengers. These are just some victims in a turf war that has killed hundreds. Between 2000 and 2017, 43% of assassinations in South Africa were related to the taxi industry. What the freaking fracker? Oh, man. Oh, man. That's crazy. Hey, guys, we got about 1 minute before. Actually, we don't even got 1 minute before 20. Whatever you're doing, I want you to stop. And thank God you're not a African taxi driver. Take a good positive breath in, exhale that negative shit, guys, that don't belong here, and let's roll. And boom, there we go. There we go. How was your 420, guys? I'm gonna be honest. I had smoked before the show. That's always honest. I don't like coughing during the show, so I do my 420 before, and I'm out of weed, guys. That is right. I am out of weed. I didn't re-up last night at 1400 Needles Highway, Needles, California, but I'm gonna re-up today because today is Wax Wednesday. Guys, you want to save 10% off of all wax? Already cheap wax. You want $15 for a gram, you save another 10%, man. Treat yourself to 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? THC and you. THC and you. Hooray! That's right, guys. But when I was smoking today earlier, I had some pink runts. Check that out. This is from Humboldt Cure. Boom, Illuminati. Look into my eyes. Look into my eye. All right. Oh, see, my 420 was pretty fire. All right, guys. So this is some pink runts I got into. I'm gonna go re-up after this podcast, probably. Go re-up at 1400 Needles Highway, Needles, California, the Healing Center. Your number one cannabis superstore. That's right, right across the bridge. The first thing you're gonna see. All right, let's give some shout outs real quick. Let's see here, guys. We got Honey Nut Heroin in the house. We got Lonnie. How you doing, Lonnie? He was number one. Honey Nut Heroin right after him. Oh, it sounds like the horse race. Like I'm doing the horse race. We got Lonnie. We got Rosie. We got Harley. We got Teresa Della. We got Yo Cholo. We got What else we got? Rosie Key, Fight for Freedom, Yo Cholo, Lonnie. Oh man, a good turnout today. A lot of people. The more I scroll, the better it rolls. I guess. Yeah, I know out of weed. Oh my God, that's right, Teresa Deller. Yeah, I that was the last of it. I have some wax, but I'm not like a straight dabber. But um, hang on one second. Thank you. Sorry, I think the neighbor lady's at the door, guys. Um, all right. What do we got? All right. So that was 420, guys. Had the downshift a little bit. So life as a South African cabbie. Holy shit. Who would have saw this coming? Right? Um, what did they say? 43% of assassinations in South Africa were related to the taxi industry. That's far more than political motivated hits or organized crime related murder, which are both accounted for 22%. The South African crime business is huge. Annual revenue is around $1.2 billion. Dang. And 15 million people per day use cabs. Long commuter trips between cities and common, along with permanent disputes that with the turf and focus on since the 90s. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. I can't believe because I mean, I think Africans are known for their like political uprisings and stuff, right? And they don't know, they're not wasting their time on who's the president. They're like, who's the president of the cabbies? Ta 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 ta. Man, that's a lot of money. I wonder how much more money the cabbies make than like the government brings in. Oh man. All right. What do we got? Oh, people getting crazy out there. Simmer on down there, kids. Simmer on down there. All right, guys. What's another one we could talk about here? Another turf war. We got our 420. Um, Glasgow had a deadly ice cream truck war. Bum bum bum. Like the taxis, ice cream trucks are vehicles that offer service to the customers for money. Unlike taxis, these cater mostly to children and families and are arguably wholesome and fun. That's the theory. Anyway, in Glasgow, things worked out different in the 1980s. Despite the name, the ice cream trucks in Glasgow are more mobile markets. They sold groceries and other essential items in neighborhoods that were far from grocery stores. That's actually kind of a cool idea. Hey, hey, there you go. Anyone has like a truck, do a mobile grocery store here in Needles. There you go. So, um, they sold grocery. You might call them food deserts. Oh, so yeah, that's what we call them. Notably, they went to a neighborhood called Rashi, which was built in the 1950s, but had fallen into a state of poverty and unemployment. There was huge profits to be made if your truck got there first selling to residents. That made drivers territorial. While some vendors might have been on the up and up, organized crime had run trucks as well. In an attempt to intimidate rival drivers, some unknown assailants shot at him in his truck. He escaped unharmed and later set his house on fire. The house was full of people, including an 18-month-old baby. 6 people, including the child, died. Arrests were made, but appeals went on for years based on shady police work, including at least one cop singing off the confession, which, when it was later revealed, he said he was driving somewhere in his car at the time of the confession was given. 20 years passed with the legal challenges and evidence showing cops conspired to frame suspects, leaving the case unsolvable after so much time. Dang. Ice cream truck massacre. Who would have thought? What about Kennedy Fried Chicken restaurants are constantly at war by independent owners? They say Kennedy. I wonder if that's a miss. Kentucky Fried. I think it's Kentucky. It says Kennedy Fried Chicken. I think it's. Oh no, I think I'm wrong. Have you ever enjoyed some KFC? No, not Kentucky Fried Chicken. Everyone knows that place. Kennedy Fried Chicken. It's a New York chicken franchise, sorta, in which none of the different Kennedy Fried Chicken restaurants actually have anything to do with one another beyond ripping off each other. Kennedy, along with the other Crown Fried Chicken and Royal Fried Chicken, all have nearly identical menus, and restaurants look mostly the same. Nearly all independently owned. Um, owns the trademark to Kennedy, but he didn't even create it. He Abdul Hai. He worked at once and then he opened one on his own and tried to stake his claim. Despite not creating the restaurant himself, Hay threatened to sue everyone else running a Kennedy, of which there are over 300, and not one of them is related to another. All seem to be run by Afghani immigrants, which is the true of Hay, which also, wow, this is interesting. The man once worked for those who started it first at Kennedy. Wow, that's that's kind of interesting. They have nothing to do with each other. No, so everyone's confused. What's going on? Is it me? Am I the confusing one? Do I need to break down the Kennedy Fried Chicken? These are independently owned chicken stores that are all called Kennedy Fried Chicken. They are all owned by Afghani immigrants that are not related to each other. They all look the same pretty much. Um, yeah, that's really weird. Birds of a feather? I mean, I don't. All right, I didn't know if I was just I'm reading, so I was like I don't want to get that monotone Bueller. All right, let's see the next. You know what? Yeah, see another one here real quick. London has gang run hot dog wars. All right. Many vendors work for a shady boss who takes a massive cut in exchange for the cart and supplies. Sellers are also tightly restricted geographically, in which the city licensing workers patrolling the streets all night just waiting for a vendor to cross to an illegal corner so the cart can be seized. When rival sellers get too close, they can break into violent attacks wielding iron bars or sticks. In most cases, it's immigrants like the Albanians working for an established crime organization. But many are not legally able to work in England. They take up shady hot dog businesses, and even legit sellers might have to pay protection money to the gangs. Wow, who would have? I mean, I guess. I mean, if I mean, I'm assuming it's like a England or like a New York thing, right? Where they're just all over the place, world famous. Um, and then you have to pay protection. You know, my favorite scene in The Sopranos was towards the end, and they were trying to shake down what would be like a Starbucks, like a shady, like a, like similar to a Starbucks. And they go in, they're like, hey, we need protection money. And they did their spill. And the kid's like, I wouldn't even know how to do that. Like we would have to call corporate and it has to be approved by my district manager. And then they kind of look at each other and they kind of realize that this is the beginning of the end for mom and pops are no longer. You can't just squeeze someone with threats now. um, you know corporate America. That's actually one of my favorite scenes, and it told like a big story. All right, what do we got? Chicago newspapers went through a bloody circulation wars in the 1900s. I could see that because that was really your only source of news, right? um, Let's see. A newspaper started by William Hearst back in the 1900s. He published a paper called the Chicago American, had designs for crushing the Tribune and the Record Herald. Hart employed honest to goodness thugs, prize fighters, bouncers, muggers, and other street athletes and armed them with weapons like guns and brass knuckles. Their job was to find people who who distributed rival papers and convince them to make room for Hearst's paper. Wow, so that was like a straight That's like a straight thug. Like, man, that's crazy. Randall or William Hearst, huh? I wonder if it's part of the Hearst dynasty. Oh, oh, hmm. Are you still on, Teresa Deller? Are you still on, Teresa? Yep, she is still on. Wait till you hear this one. Wait, and I swear, guys, this is from a website. This is from top10s.net. 10 bizarre and out of control turf wars. Number 3, Vegas wedding chapels had violent confrontations over customers. Wow. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share the screen, guys. I am going to share the screen. And I swear on, I don't know what I'm supposed to share on, but this is not a ploy. This is not an act. This is not premeditated. This is not set up. And no names will be said, but if you know, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to do this thing right now, guys. Add to the stream. Boop. All right, there we go. Hopefully you guys could see this. The Las Vegas Wedding Chapel is an iconic Vegas experience, second to only casinos themselves. The idea of a quickie in and out wedding has a lot of appeal for those seeking the full seedy Vegas experience. But with all things Vegas, there's money to be made, and the loss that leads to and lost money to be made and lost that leads to rivalries. In the early 2000s, Lily of the Valley Ministry had requested an order of protection from the Garden of Love Chapel because of threats and harassment directed at employees and customers. The Garden of Love is one of the most famous chapels in Vegas. 2 years early, there were death threats and vandalism running rapid. Owners of one chapel might curse out couples who chose another chapel, and people's cars were being pelted with paintballs. At the center of those accusations was once again the Garden of Love. And that is that's that. That's that on that one, guys. Yeah. Crazy, crazy. All right. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that, guys. You may know somebody who owned this at the time. All right. Bus rivalries. What about the Canadian tow truck massive turf war problem? Despite the reputation of always being polite, Canadians are far from immune to angry turf wars as well. That's easy for me to say. Canadians dispute exits in the world. Canadians dispute exists in the world of tow trucks, complete with ties to organized crime and murder. In 2020, Toronto police laid 200 charges in response to a long-standing war between rival companies. Not that anything stopped because of it. The wars date back to the early 2000s, have decayed to not just unauthorized tows, but extreme violence, including arson, drugs, weapons, multiple killings, and cops are particularly to blame. I don't know if you guys have ever really looked into this. I was watching a show on Netflix, I believe, and it was about the Montreal Mafia. And I was like, what is this? And then all of a sudden you start to see how like maybe it is, maybe it isn't, like a mob place. So I looked it up and I started went on Wikipedia, because everything on Wikipedia is up and snuff. But yeah, lo and behold, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I know that's not French Canadians, but yeah, the mob runs deep, man. They have their own mob, and they use, "Hey, what's up there, Mister Crispus? How you doing?" Um, uh, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, man, it's heavy too. They got bikers. I mean, everything we got, they got. They're not as polite, you know, as they're letting off to be. But yeah, man, yeah, the Canadian mafia in Montreal. Woo, crazy, crazy stuff. All right, let's see what's another list we could do real quick, guys. Good, 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 guys. 10 formerly enlisted soldiers who aren't what you expected. Hmm. Let's see. Might be interesting. La 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 la. I don't like ads. Here we go. I know Mr. Crispers I remember him saying something about I need to get an ad blocker. Okay, here we go. It gets good right off the bat. I was like, what is it going to be like Elvis and whoever got drafted? No, this is good. This is really good. Wojciech or Wojciech was and I'm sure the J is silent or the K or something, but was the soldier in a Polish army and also a bear. Animals in war have long history. Horses were used well before we've had motorized vehicles. Elephants had their day. Dogs still show up in fields of war all around the world, but most of these animals are not officially recognized as actual soldiers with rank. Some, however, rise above. Rise above. Did I kill that? All right, here we go. So you guys can see the little bear. A Syrian bear named Wojciech was given the rank of private in the Polish army during World War II. It was a group of POWs that first discovered the baby bear in Iran. As they traveled through the mountains to Siberia to Egypt, they carried the bear with them, feeding it and caring for it. Even as the release negotiated, they were sent to Italy to fight the Allied forces. Um, Wojciech grew up with the soldiers, learning to smoke and drink beer, which obviously not the best habits for a bear to have. It also learned to carry ammo boxes during the battles on the front line. Through soldiers later stated that they were only carrying spent shells, not live ammo. I guess that's good to know. The bear also learned how to salute and march. All right, so he was enlisted, not what you would expect. A 6-year-old girl was enlisted by the Royal Navy in Australia. Um, let's see. In 1920, there were strict rules for the Australian Navy regarding who could and could not be on board a military ship. For instance, no circumstance was a woman to be allowed on board, although the Navy itself simply says civilians could not board. This would not have been problem until the day Nancy Bentley was bit by a snake. We all know Australian snakes are not to be trifled with. Nancy was 6 years old, and a snake bite could easily have been lethal for her. Morris, she and her father were nowhere near a hospital, but they were close to Hamas, Sydney, an Australian warship. Nancy's father rowed her to where the ship was docked and begged for help. Captain Haley knew regulations did not permit the girl's treatment on board, but he allowed it for a sailor to be treated. The captain ordered the girl to be formally enlisted in the Navy, and she was brought on board. The girl was given rank of mascot and received the first aid treatment before arrangements were made to get her to a proper hospital. Nancy made it to Hobart and survived with her ordeal 8 days after being enlisted. Wow, she was officially discharged. It's kind of cool. Let's see. Kind of interesting one. William Windsor was a goat in the British Army. uh, let's see. William Windsor actually got demoted for his behavior as a soldier in the British Army. William, also called Billy, was a lance corporal with the 1st Battalion Royal Welsh. he could not step in during a parade in honor of the Queen back in 2006, and he was demoted to Fusilier. Billy's not only a regiment goat, of course, as monarchs could have been presenting them since Victoria time. A goat that is to have led Welsh soldiers from a battle bunker hill in 2022. Lance Corporal Sheekin was on hand for the proclamation of Charles. Wow, the goat. The goat was there for King Charles. Donald Duck was an army sergeant. He was always dressed like a sailor. 40 officially drafted in the U.S. Army, as opposed to the Navy, where he seemed like he would be a natural fit. He found a place later in 1942, appeared in military cartons as part of the U.S. propaganda machine. During World War II, Disney had were losing money and government contracts to make films promoting their war efforts, paid the bill. Kind of cool. Let's see. Calvin Graham joined the U.S. Navy at age 12. Graham was only 12. He joined the Navy. He had left home at age 11. And then in 1941, he sold papers to support himself. So he regularly read news of the war. The attack on Pearl Harbor convinced him to enlist. Where are we at here? Convinced him to enlist. To sell the lie, Graham began shaving, trying to get stubble. He faked a deeper voice and then forged papers signed by his mother and stamped a stolen notary with a stolen notary stamp. Things almost worked until the medical, when the dentist saw his baby teeth and tried to give him the boot. Graham countered. They had already let in 14-year-olds, and he would rat them out if he wasn't allowed to. And it worked. So he became an anti-warcraft gunner on the USS South Dakota and helped shoot down 26 planes. Wow. What a story. What a story. A lot of kids at war here. Let's see. Ads. We'll go back here. All right. Hey, Supernova Mike, how's it going? Pam, how you doing? Maybe Brian is a part of the Canadian mafia and doesn't want to blow his cover. My grandma was French Canadian. And that just opens up the door for jokes, guys. No one likes the French Canadians. Come on. Oh, Mr. Crispus, I must kill you now. That's French, right? The way kids play Fortnite and Call of Duty, I would think we should make the age to enlist 12. For real. I remember me and my friend lived down the street, Sonny Gerber. And there was another one, Brian McIntyre. And we had an Army surplus store that opened up. I am too. Honey Nut Heroin. I'm sorry if I offended you. We had an Army surplus store down the street from our house, and we all I remember going to see Platoon when I was like 11 years old. And we played war all the time. We got Pall Mall candy cigarettes, and we put them in our hard helmets, and we got the real ones from the Army surplus store. We had the candies, and we actually ate MREs, which are nasty. But yeah, it was a pretty cool, pretty good childhood, I guess. Camping in the backyard, playing war. Crazy. If he offended you. Hey, oh man. All right, guys, I appreciate it. It's from you, that bald spot, Mr. Crispers. It's from you. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Rosie, what you doing, Rosie? She's been home all day without me. One more day, guys, and that other job is kaput. Hopefully, I keep saying that. I think it's like the mafia. They keep roping me back in. All right, guys, I will check you later. I will check you at 7:10 a.m., guys. Tomorrow is True Crime Thursday. I got a new game I want to play. We didn't get to play it this morning, but I got a new game I want to play. It will fit perfect for tomorrow. So jump on in. Make sure you check it out. It's 4:20 somewhere, and the 7:10 show, guys. Well, you're on this one, so check out the 7:10 one. For Christmas, I may just get you a Donald Trump wig. It's a lot of work, man. I was looking at that dude's hair the other day, and I'm like, God, I wonder how long he takes him to do all the whipping. Reminds me of the intro to American Crime, the Christian Bale movie, either American Hustler. All right, guys, we appreciate you, Honey Nut Heroine. You're the best. Everyone's the best. Teresa Deller, thank you for coming back, Teresa Deller. Appreciate you, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning.
Thank you for joining us on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. Broadcasting worldwide and brought to you by thedailydank.com. Check out our merchandise and amazing content. And follow us on all our social media. Now, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.